So welcome to the webinar. Welcome to the webinar of the first of this edition, which will take place this summer from 5 to 10 July, starting on a Sunday. We are in the beginning, so I'm gonna explain about what the summer school is, explain what do we do, why do we do it, how do you participate, what do you get out of it. And later on, we will share the actual program. We're still very much in the beginning, but I will share with you the program of last year, all the visits we did last year, and it will be about the same. Now, to start off, for everyone, if you don't know yet, I see everyone already turned off their microphones and their screens. So the cameras, so that's really good because for you to know, we are recording this session. So anything you will say can be recorded, will be recorded, and can be shared. So just be aware of that. You are very welcome at the end to actually show your camera and then ask a question in person. It's very possible. We start with the questions in the chat. So if you have any questions, you can share them in the chat, but I am going to go through all the slides first, answer any questions that are have been sent in before, and then at the end we open up the conversation for more questions. So we can actually do the whole webinar within 30 minutes, because that's, I think, the best for everyone. Okay. Now, there is someone in the back, Katja. So thanks, Katja, for arranging all of this. She will share all the YouTube live questions also with us in the chat here. So you will actually see all the questions that are going to be asked. And trust me, there's going to be a lot of doubles, but hopefully I can answer all of your questions in between the time now and the time where we have for questions. And also everyone who has registered, so shared your email with us, you will get most of the slides. Not all of them, because we can't share all of them, but most of them we will share with you. What we're going to talk about, like I said, a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about what the summer school actually is, about the program, about the project you will be working on. How do you get there? Where do you want to stay? How do you register? How do you apply? What do you pay? How do you pay? What's included in the payment? But also a little bit about alumni and what they got out of it, what the advantages are, what the network actually entails. And then at the end, we'll do the questions that have been sent in by some people. Some questions, there was one in Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't speak any Spanish, so please keep them in English and try to share them in the chat if I have missed them, which is totally possible because a lot of people registered and a lot of people had a lot of questions. Now about the summer school, what it actually is. The focus of the summer school is kind of like a 6-day crash course into the space industry in the Netherlands. And we're talking about not just engineering, we're talking about everything, right? So everything means remote sensing, satellite data, AI, drones, defense, would be engineering, robotics, space exploration. We're going to talk about space law, space ethics. What else do we have? It just keeps on going. Space marketing, space communication, also very important. Space missions, space debris, all kinds of those things. We're going to touch upon all of them a little bit. So it's super general, means you don't need any experience. If you feel like I have a lot of experience because I'm an engineer, you probably don't have any experience in space law. If it's the other way around, so all of this combined, we really welcome everyone who is excited about space. The whole point of getting into the space industry is not about your skills, it's not about your experience, it's about your excitement and your passion that you want to work in this industry, and then there will be a way. And this is a really good first step. So we have students joining who want to see what's out there, who want to understand how their skills can actually be fitted into the job openings that are there. There are students who actually they feel excited about space, but they have no idea where to start. There are students who actually are working in companies already, but they want to broaden their skills and their experience. There are students who feel like they don't know what to do. I had one student, there was one student, she actually said at the end that she by the end knew, wow, I actually thought there was no place for me in space. I totally put it aside me. And then after the summer school, I realized there's so many opportunities and I got really excited again. And actually she now works in Paris for a space company. So that's also something you will understand and learn how the industry works. This industry is a little different from other industries because it mainly works on networking basis because it's very small. But there are a lot of job openings. And there is a lot to learn and there's a lot of information and trends, a lot of things going on. So we're not only going to talk about old space, where we say, like rocket launches by ESA. We're also going to talk about new space, like how do you set up a space business? How about space investing? Things like this. There are already some organizations who have confirmed. The big ones, ESA, of course, and USPA, Esron, and TNO have confirmed. You will also work on projects. Projects have interdisciplinary teams, and they are very different. So I will talk about a little later, share with you the projects we had in the past year, so you can get a feel of what could be possible for this year. But we always work with our partners to see what's actually going on right now. So the projects are always new every year because they actually share with you a real company challenge. Now, of course, you build your network. Like I said, this whole industry is completely built on networking. And you will actually talk with the experts directly. You go into the back where people regularly don't come, and you talk to the people who regularly don't come to network events. But we will go to them. You will not only get experience in how it's actually going on in the space industry, but also work on the ethical side, the writing skills. You will see that there is no rocket that goes into space with only engineers in the team. You need all of the disciplines. And you will actually learn this hands-on, which means this is really good for your CV. You will get like hands-on experience and in a way to tell your future employer, I've done this and therefore I can actually see and understand why we need to work together. I see and understand why we need this discipline. So you really understand the broader industry. Now the program for last year, again, last year. This is what it looked like. We started almost every day at 9. In the morning we have lectures. There will be lunch, lots of coffee breaks. Trust me, you need the coffee, and you will get lectures, introductions, tours, workshops. Like this is really, the whole week is very intense, but it's a lot of fun. And in between all of this, you will talk with your project owner, you will work with your team, you will see places you will have never been before, and work with people you will probably never expected to work with, which also means because it's so intense, you really build a very strong network with your classmates, and therefore all of the years up until now, this is going to be the 5th year, all the classmates, they start their own projects afterwards, they work together, they meet each other. It's some people have actually fallen in love. So there's a lot of connections being made. The projects, to get a feel of the projects that we offer, sometimes, like I said, it depends on the company that offers the project. We work with our partners that have real projects, and these were the ones last year. And every project has a project owner. So you will work with your project owner for the questions, and after the week, at the end, you will share your solutions to this project challenge. But the goal is not to get a good grade. The goal is to learn how to work together, get a feel for the real work environment, and to understand what companies actually want and need, like what's really out there in the job market. So you're not supposed to get an A, it's not supposed to be perfect, but you're supposed to learn and get experience. Now, what does it actually look like? How does a group that joins actually experiences this? I want to share with you the after movie of last year, which is 1 minute. So you get a feel of everything I just said, but what does it actually look like? So as you can see, there's even more that you will learn than I actually shared. Also astronomy and telescopes, things like that. And of course, you will end the week with getting our certificate if you've participated all of the days, or mainly most of the days. And we will end with a party. Oh. Now, some more information that we haven't shared about people who want to join. The summer school, like I said, you don't need to have any experience, any knowledge. You don't need to know anything. Trust me, I have learned a lot. I have a background in social work, has nothing to do with the space industry, and I could get a job here anywhere and I could participate in the summer school too. And of all the people who can join, I think social work is one of the jobs or degrees that has nothing to do with technology whatsoever. And I even fit in. So we actually welcome, because we want to have multidisciplinary teams. We have a cap on the amount of people with space experience, and we have spaces for people without space experience and a space background. So any doubts, please take them away. If you feel excited about space, you are the right person to join. Also, we do not select based on grades or resume. Please do not send in your resume. We do not read them. I don't really care about what you did. We care about if you feel excited about space. Are you going to show up? Are you going to join? Are you going to be curious about learning? That's all you need. Also, because it's a very professional industry, this is not, the space industry is not like you can join in your flip-flops to the office because I work at Uber. Unfortunately, it can be a very old-fashioned industry, so we ask you to wear professional clothing. You don't have to wear a suit and tie, but be neat. That's all. And we do ask you to bring a laptop on most days because you have to work on your project. Now, where is it actually? Because I can understand people think, huh, isn't this supposed to be at some university? No, actually, what we do is we go to very different locations. This takes place mainly around Leiden and Noordwijk, so the campus, but we go to Delft, and we go to other places where the companies are at. And they're not always at a specific location or at the universities or colleges. So we go to different locations where the companies at, where the test centers are at, where the offices are at. But we do start from Leiden Central Station almost every day. Also, transportation from Leiden, if it's arranged, it's from Leiden. For example, to Noordwijk, we always provide transportation. But for example, in Delft, you have to take a bus because our bus doesn't go in the city center of Delft. And I think I know all the Delft people that know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, we do not provide accommodation. We cannot. But if you need accommodation, we recommend you to go anywhere near Leiden Central Station. There's lots of Airbnbs there. What we also recommend is in time, if you register and you pay and you're in, about a month before it starts, we open the WhatsApp group of the class. And there's always students who rent an Airbnb together, for example. So that makes it a little bit easier and cheaper to stay in Leiden. Now, how do you get in? Well, it's not very complicated. You actually just apply. We need to have a little bit of information from you, and we'd love to hear why you want to join. Like, why will you show up? And what do you actually want to learn? And of course, we need your t-shirt size. Like I said, don't upload anything very long. We get a lot of applications. We're not reading them, so don't send them in. Just send a little bit why you want to join, anything specific. And after you get a confirmation that you can register, that's when you get a bigger question. So that's where you can send in your dietary requirements, for example. You can send in all kinds of details that you need to send in, and you get a link to pay. Only once the payment has been complete, that's when you have your spot. If you have not paid, you do not have a spot. We have a lot of applications. We have a waiting list every year. And we need to have your confirmation. Otherwise, we will give your spot to someone else. Now, what do you pay? If you're early, you pay 349 euros. That's including everything, including the transportation that we arrange, including lunch every day, including dinner on a lot of days, including a goodie bag. I think it's in here. Like I said, lots of coffee. We, as a team, organizing team, also need a lot of coffee. You get the end party and the barbecue. You get a certificate, and you get access to the alumni events and the alumni network, is supposed to say after the end. But like I mentioned before, no accommodation, no flights, no visa. This is all your own. You need to arrange that. If you do not know that you want to do it, you need a little bit of time. We have a second phase where people can apply, but this phase will only open if we still have spots left. If we don't have any spots left, this phase will not open. So if you are excited to join, apply soon. For young professionals, the same. We have spots for young professionals, but full is full. Now, what else? After everything that I explained, what you can get, what else do you get? Well, like I said, the classes are very tight because it's such an intense program. You really build lasting relationships, which is really good for your network. I see it everywhere. All the former students we call them students, even the young professionals who take part in the summer school, I call them students. All the former students, they get special entry to space industry networking events. You have a direct link with us. You have a direct link with a lot of space professionals. You can ask them a lot of questions. You get a very tight network with the former classes, the same. You can become part of projects. We have students now who actually start their own projects, start their own companies, start their own events, become part of other larger organizations such as the Space Generation Advisory Council, which you can already become a member of at the moment if you want. And some actually start their own company because now they have learned what is out there, what kind of support is out there for their ideas to actually put in real life. Now, a couple of examples of students who have participated. Like I said, some actually start a company, but someone actually got a job out of it, and someone was really excited about all the things that they got to do that you actually never get to do. If you do one like university track, if you study one topic, that's mainly what you will be doing. But if you join the summer school, you will be doing all of them. And yes, if you study space engineering and we offer you an engineering lecture, you probably already know what they're going to talk about. But have you ever flown a drone? Or have you ever discussed ethics or seen telescopes? So that's just the whole broad thing. Now, some questions that people had. How would you recommend making the most out of the program before and after the summer school? That's a very good question. A lot of people have, that's why I focus on, you're not supposed to get the best grade on your project. I would recommend that getting the most out of it, trust me, your network is worth a lot more than your grades. There is no one after you graduate asking you what grade you got for what kind of topic. But if you know the right people, that's how you get a job. So don't focus on getting the best grade for your project, but stay at the end, have drinks with the other summer school students. Talk to the project owners, talk to the lecturers, stay for the drinks, go get coffee, things like that. So I know it's sometimes awkward, but try to be social, which that's just the best. You don't even have to talk, you just have to sit there and be part of the group that is there. How do we select participants? Like I said, we have a cap on certain focuses. So there is a maximum amount of space engineers that can actually join. And then we have quite some spots left for people who have no space background. In that way, we try to have multidisciplinary class. So there's always people who study marketing, study business, study social sciences, physics, biology, remote sensing, all kinds of these things. And then, of course, we also have people who study then engineering and what else do we have? Well, everything concerning engineering, I guess. So what will this year's program include? It will mainly look the same as last year. Also a little bit depending on the companies that are joining, the visits we have. We will start this year in Leiden at Plant. We have a really nice new team building exercise together with the Plant Hub. They offer a lot of support for people who want to start their own company. And it's in Leiden. It's a really nice location. They have a rooftop restaurant. So we're going to have the first day on the rooftop. Financial aid available. Unfortunately, there is no financial aid available because we already fund most of this week. The price that you see, which is, what is it? 349 euros. That's not what it costs. We pay the rest. It's very expensive to organize this, but we already get funded from the government, so we create something that you have to pay minimal amounts for, but you get most effort out of it. Financial, yeah. How hands-on is the program? It really is. Not about you make things with your hands. We have workshops where you do that, but you do learn about the real life job market. Expectations from us outside of the given week? No. 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 Not at all. No. Outside of the given week, I would recommend you to sleep. It's very intense, like I said. Any fun facts about the program? Well, like I said, I think one of the fun facts is so intense that sometimes people even fall in love. But yeah, I think it's just a lot of fun. There's no hierarchy, and you're gonna see a lot of nice things. You're gonna go and to companies, and companies love to talk about what they do. People love to talk about what they do. So the people who give the lectures, the companies who open their doors, everyone does this voluntarily because they feel passionate about sharing their knowledge and their experience. So that means that the level of the information you get, the excitement throughout the week is just super high. Now, that was about it. Now I'm actually really curious to see all of your questions that I have not answered. Okay. I'm gonna start with the top. Professional 37-year-old working as an engineer. We have a cap of 30-year-old because the age is between 18 and 30. We could see what's possible if you really feel excited to join. There are a lot of events you can join, a lot of space events that you can also join, which is next to the summer school. I don't know where you are based at, but if check out our website. That's the biggest one, nlspacecampus.eu. We also have a lot of hackathons, which are for 37-year-olds for sure, which also is for everyone. But that's also very specific on a certain topic, of course. Okay, question. The fees. How do I know which one I am? Well, it depends on when you apply. So if you apply in the first phase, you get the cheapest. And if you don't, it depends on how many spots are left. From YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. MYP5 students are eligible for this? I don't understand what the question is. Are we chosen based on our short motivational message then? You are chosen based on your background and on your eligibility. So unfortunately, this is really stupid to say, but if you have a Chinese nationality, we cannot let you in. If you have a Romanian nationality, you are super welcome. And we try to have multidisciplinary teams. So if there is too many engineers who register, we have a cap on those registrations. And then we have the other spots left for non-space background applications. So if you have no space background, it's probably easier to get in than having a space background. But then we are based on all of that. So we want your motivation to be, I want to learn and I will be there. And that's the most important thing. You have to be excited and you have to be on time. Also, a question we get a lot of times, I haven't seen it around here, but we get it a lot. If I have my graduation ceremony, if I have my sister's graduation ceremony, if I have a wedding, what if I need to miss one part of the week? That's fine. We are not your college. You're not going to fail. You can't fail anything. The only thing you can fail is when you don't show up and you don't build your network, which is your own, yeah, you just don't get much out of it. But if you have an exam or something, there's always something we can work out. If I paid already, can I have my money back if I decide I don't want to come anymore? No. Sorry, no. There are sometimes specific situations, like last year we had someone who paid and then their mom actually passed away and had a funeral. That's a very special circumstance in which we say, yeah, that's okay. But we don't have the system to actually do this. It's a lot of work for us to do. That's why we also say, if you haven't paid, you don't have a spot. If you pay, you have a spot. It's up to you. If you feel really uncomfortable with not having a place to stay, but do have to pay, we advise you to get a place to stay first and then pay for the summer school, if that makes you feel more comfortable. How much is the place to stay can cost for a week? Try to find Airbnb and find out. I don't know. The first day to apply is February 1st. Yes, that's when we open the registrations. Can a 16-year-old join? Unfortunately not, because we need 18 years and older to get in certain test centers and companies. So you have to be 18 years or older. I'm sorry. But the good thing is, in 2 years' time, you can still join. Anyone else still has a question, or you want to know anything? Maybe you want to know something from me or from the team, or you want to talk to me, also good. You can turn on your microphone, we can talk. It's so strange. It's like, I know there's a lot of people in there and no one's talking to me. All right. Then I guess if there is no questions anymore, I will just say thank you very much for joining. You can find a lot of things on the website. We have frequently asked questions. You can find all of their former after movies on YouTube. Yeah. You can send us emails, rather not, of course. We already get a lot of emails. I think what you need to know is it's a lot of fun. It's very intense. You get a lot of value for your money. It's very good for your experience. It's very good for your resume. It's really good for your network. And it's also just, well, it's one of the most fun weeks we organize for people, for me as someone who actually works. Okay, apparently you couldn't even talk to me. Well, now you can talk to me. If anyone wants to talk to me, you can. But after this, like we said, we will share the slides with you. And you can read a little bit about this. Please go to the website if you need to know anything else. And we will also have other webinars later on. And somewhere in a couple of months, we will have a webinar where we do the program launch. And the projects you get to see a month before. So that's like the beginning of June. If you register and you apply and you get in, about a month before, you get access to the WhatsApp group. You get, if you don't have WhatsApp, that's fine. We do an email. You get access to the projects we have, and you get to choose your project. And then on the first day, Sunday, the 5th of July, is when you get all the information. So the 5th of July, there's nothing you need. We start with team building, we start with lunch, we start with dinner, we start with information, we start with the information about the projects, we start to introduce the challenge owners, we introduce the team, and you get to meet your classmates. Oh, maybe it's good to know we have 45 spots. That's it. So maximum 45 spots. If you need to know why we have 45 spots, because that is the maximum amount of people that we can get into tours at Airbus, Esron, and ESA. So that's why. And full is full. I don't see any extra questions coming in, which is really good. So hopefully I've answered all of your questions. Thank you confirming that everything is clear. Also really great to hear. Well, thank you all for being here. Hopefully you get really excited, just like we are super excited. And yeah, hopefully maybe see you soon in the summer. And if you feel like you need to visit other events beforehand, you want to talk to us, meet us, come to a network and drinks. We have one every month. Or you can join a hackathon that we organize. We have 4 this year coming up. We go to conferences. You can reach out. A lot of ways where you can ask questions. Also meet former students. Like at the network and drinks, there's always former students. All right. Thank you everyone very much. And I wish you a very great evening. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.